So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I run my agency through Claude Code. A lot of people tell you exactly what they do and things like that, and maybe some skills and tricks, but I'm going to show you exactly what I do for lead generation and exactly how I'm able to process all of this through Claude Code instead of having to go from one application to the next. So in this video, the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is be able to set up your Claude Code. What you can do here is go to Claude, and then you go to Code, and it'll give you a variation of options. You can either have it right inside of the app, right inside of the site, or you can do what I do and what a lot of people do is have it inside of VS Code. So you're going to want to download Visual Studio Code, and then you're going to be able to have it inside here, where then you can have more technical terms in terms of being able to have it working inside of here. So for this, I just have it in the terminal, and what I want to do whenever I want to set something up is I just have here under my business, go to Claude. From there, it's going to be able to have Claude Code ready. You can even see Opus 4.8 is here. So that's exactly what we have set up. So for lead generation, exactly how we do that. I use a series of tools that I'm able to set up directly through Claude Code. So that is Apify and Smartlead. Those are the main two drivers that I use for lead generation, and I really just make it as simple as could be. I'm now just, instead of having to do physically going through these systems and being able to put in the certain total addressable markets that I'm looking for inside the system and then run it through Claude Code, I just say, type it in here of exactly what I'm looking for. So for example, I'm looking for B2B SaaS companies with 500 to 1,000 employees. I want to enrich the contacts of, let's say 100 VPs of marketing. Use Apify for this. So you can see it's thinking here, and it's going to be able to take in the exact amount of data and going to be able to understand exactly where it's going to pull from. So this is just going to take from Apify, simply put. But what you're going to want to learn is exactly how to be able to put this inside of your Claude Code. So what you're going to want to do here is look at, while that's loading, you're going to see here we have inside Apify. I'm going to log in here. And then you can see this is my typical dashboard. Now, of course, what people are going to want to do is to be able to get a specific subscription for exactly what you want to be able to have. I'm not going to be able to show my API key here, but you're going to want to be able to get a certain plan for yourself to be able to run this for yourself. Now, I do a $200 a month subscription to be able to have the amount of enrichment for leads that I need. Now, with Apify, I particularly am able to do Google Maps scraping, LinkedIn scraping, Sales Navigator, so on and so forth. So you're really able to get as many different applications and as many different types of companies through Apify that you could simply just take the API key and put into an env file inside here. So you can even see that when I'm looking at, let's find the env, you can see that it's looking at the env files, saying it's no set. Let's see. So this is a perfect time to do it. Use Senra env local. I'm going to say use the API key have set for Apify. Look through Senra, my existing business, and other applications to find the API key. And let's see here, scrape contacts only, and then submit my answers. So in this case, let's say I wanted to be able to put it in for the first time. Let's say this doesn't find it for any reason. What I'll go here is go into my APIs and integrations. I'm not going to do that here just to not show you guys my API key, but you go right into there, you copy it, and you paste it in. This could also work for the free trial if you wanted to just try it out, make sure your API key is connected, and then be able to do that. Now, what I can do exactly is once I have those leads, I could just simply go back into VS Code and type in, let's put this into one specific campaign and assign this many emails in from it. So the reason I can do that is because I have my API key inside of Smartlead setup, which again, to be able to access your API key, you're going to go to settings here, and then you're going to be able to see your API key. Now, whenever I just tell Claude Code, let's create one campaign, it will just make this campaign for me. It'll assign it. It can even create the scripts right inside of what we have here. So let's go into the cold email one, for example. This is something that Claude Code built for me, where it had a specific personalization as well as exactly what I wanted to be able to write about. Now, this is what it looks like inside of the preview. Hey, Amit, love how let's see here. Installly is making it straightforward for B2B teams to actually deploy AI agents and automate complex workflows. Wondering if it's something I can run by you. So this is exactly what we have here. And this is personalized for every single company that we have for outreach. So you can see this is different every time, which is really the benefit of doing it. This is something that people used to only do through Clay, but now you can really do it through Claude Code as well. Especially once you have everything set up inside of here, which is really just setting up the API keys. But this is really where I'm running the enrichments from, and then exactly where I'm putting in the information, and then being able to track the exact data of how the campaign's performing. So 860, 9 replied. This one's an early campaign, so 1 positive reply, and then I can see the stats here of exactly what's coming up. So this is what I run for with my API key and exactly what comes up. So returns the fully enriched rows. This is exactly the information it's going to give me: email, title, company size, LinkedIn, everything. So it's going to be able to put in that format and then exactly fetching it now. Now, this is something that people do if they're using Apify. I know a lot of people do use Apollo, but a big problem that I see from my community inside of Skool, as well as what a lot of other people say, is that Apify could be too expensive if they're running it. So they want to find cheaper options. And that's exactly what I'm also going to show you here. So Apollo is the answer in some degree. But the thing is, let's say I have a certain list inside of Apollo that I want to be able to find. Let's just make it the UK for this example, just so we have 23,000 contacts. Now, the cheapest way to be able to do this is once I have the exact filters that I want to be able to run. Let's say, this is correct job titles, location, employee size, market segments. Could even dwindle it down by having more keywords. Industry and keywords are always very important to do. So let's say info tech here, do that. And then let's make a keyword under this. So let's do keywords. Let's see here what else we can do. Market segments. And then being able to build that inside of here, we can have as well just different kind of buying intent and anything like that. So this is really what we can be able to build. Maybe if we have SaaS as well included, can be able to put that inside. Once we have all of the filters correct and exactly what you want to be able to pull for, just simply go here to the URL, copy it, and then go inside of Ample Leads. This is a system that really makes it inexpensive to be able to scrape leads as much as you can. You could do Sales Nav Scraper, something that's coming soon, Ocean as well, but Apollo Scraper is something that's really good for. So all you do is come in here, paste in the Apollo search URL. You put in the amount of leads you want in. So in this case, we had 15.5. So we'd put 15,500, and then you can name it whatever you'd like. Then once you do that, it takes about 24 to 48 hours. And then boom, you see here, these are previous leads that I've enriched. This was May 26th, where I was doing B2B marketing, e-commerce here, B2B SaaS, and then you can see the amount that I have. Once you do that, you can view the search link that you had in Apollo, so you can go to previous searches, as well as being able to also export the data as Google Sheets, CSV as well. You can also even put in the API key so it can be able to pull in inside of Claude Code exactly what you're looking for, and you can be able to see that inside of here. So as you can see, I particularly prefer Claude Code inside of VS Code because you can be able to just run it a lot cleaner. I find being able to organize the files is a lot more of a simpler process, and I do everything inside of Terminal instead of just using the Claude app. So just allows me to run skills. So if I put in the slash mark, I could see I have a brainstorming skill. Maybe if I want to think about exactly how I want to run something, I have brainstorming skills. I have different kinds of things here. I even have ones that help me create carousels as well. So I can even be able to put that up. So I have one that makes notebook carousels, hand-drawn graphics, content, so on and so forth. So that's really why I find this to be more beneficial, to be able to run it inside here. And then of course, we're going to be able to scrape as many leads as we want. So instead of having to go from Apify, Smartlead, Apollo, Ample Leads, everything like that, I can just direct everything inside of here within Claude Code, inside of this system. Everything's connected. It takes a little bit to connect everything together. But once you have the API keys inside the .env files, everything really works seamlessly and you can just work through this one section. So saying here, results, 100 VPs of marketing, SaaS companies fully enriched, goes about exactly how it found it, how it got there. And then one thing to know, gives you a really in-depth idea of exactly what it's doing, does US location only, and then it goes to want me to run verification pass. So let's say, for example, let's make this into a smart lead campaign. Let's say a new smart lead campaign here, new smart lead campaign. And for this, let's just say here, title it as test one. So since it has the API key in there, it should be able to just go in, create the campaign, and then be able to just have that on the Smartlead app. Now, of course, it's better to, before you verify and you launch a campaign inside Smartlead, to always look through the app. But this is really going to be able to handle all of the work up front. So really, you're just kind of checking through, making sure your settings are correct within Smartlead, and then you're being able to run it from there. So this is exactly how I run my entire system with Outbound, exactly how I'm able to get leads, how I'm able to follow up with the process, reply to people automatically as well, and then book calls to then make sales within my company. So that's exactly really what we're doing here. And you can see here, it's already launching the cold email campaign, has the skill going. I have the Smartlead API and patterns. The existing upload script won't fit the list, requires personalization, open columnar, one thing up front. So they want to create a personalization. So now it's creating the ID. So you can see here, created ID. So to be able to see that, we're going to go inside here, go into email campaigns. And then from there, you can see we have test one created. So we have the test one created. You can see we have 98 leads imported, and then we can then go ahead with the next stage and add scripts. This is exactly how I'm running the process. And if there are any questions on exactly how you want to be able to run this, how you want to be able to incorporate it into Claude Code or anything like that, feel free to ask questions, join the Skool group for anything more in depth, and then we can continue on. But really, for anyone that's inside the community, we kind of go over things like this, as well as just kind of any lead generation, how to build exactly what business you're looking for, and then how to go about these steps step by step to be able to then get you to where you want to be.